Hi Aries, it's Jenny here, ready with your February tarot horoscope. So we're just going to be pulling a single card for the month of February from my Salvador Dali tarot deck, and we're going to see what is coming up for you this month. So the first 2/3 or so of February is going to be Aquarius season, and then towards the end we're going to roll over into Pisces. So that's kind of the switch that's going to be happening, and just going to keep shuffling, see what wants to pop out for you. Sometimes it takes a while. Let's see. Oh, not going to do that one. Oh, geez. Okay. Trying not to dump the cards all over the ground. The cards either jump out in a second while I'm still talking, or they take forever to come out. So, let's see. Let's go with that one. Okay. Here we go, Aries. We have the Fool card. Scorpio got this month too, so we got a couple fools, a couple people on a fool's quest this time. But you got the Fool reversed. So this is the way he looks the right way up. So we have this this kind of man, kind of in a pilgrim supplicant pose. He's riding on this little donkey, and there's all of these butterflies around him. And then there's this figure kind of drawn with this big staff or crutch along the way. And it came out reversed like that, okay? So I'm just gonna see what the Fool has to say for you. Okay, the Fool. The 0 as role model. 0, or the missing number, stands for nothing. It warns you against living a meaningless life. Seen from another angle, the 0 point defines your personal starting point, the site of unity within yourself at the very core of your being. Like the initial point of a coordinate system, this card represents the beginning of everything that makes up an individual. To look into the future with courage implies charting your own course, not least when all role models have failed you and you are forced to act into the blue without any prior support. The more unusual your path, the more panic you will experience if you have to go down it. Pan in Greek means all. Therefore, panic means all at once. The more room you give the Fool in your life, the easier it will be to get used to accepting yourself, God, and the world as they are, as the supplicant saint in the picture demonstrates. In this way, everything you know takes on a special importance in your life when the time is right. Look at the shadowy figure by the wayside. It could represent your second self that you so desperately need and long for. Do not take lightly the feeling that you are missing out on something. The fulfillment of these desires and the banishment of deep-seated fears are a priority. The Fool represents a state of unadulterated bliss. Practical advice. As a Fool, you are open to experiment and free to learn from all experience. You are entitled to lack answers and to change your point of view at will. Put your faith in your own originality and trust the world. Do not let others drive you crazy. It is foolish to concern yourself with things or events that cannot be appropriately judged at the present time. Okay, Aries, this feels like it's really supportive of a lot of your kind of general Aries archetypical energy, which is the beginning point, the starting point. Aries is the first zodiac of the season, for in the Northern Hemisphere at least, is like the spring energy. So things kind of waking up, this kindling spark and fire. And so it's all about beginnings anyway. So the Fool is the archetypical beginning of his journey. He doesn't know who he is yet, doesn't really even know what he doesn't know, and therefore doesn't yet have anything to worry about, because you have to know a bit of a situation in order to worry about it. You have to have some experience of things going wrong, or a bit of a fear of the future. But if you are just right at the beginning of a journey, you're really free from all of those kind of later concerns that show up, because you just don't know it yet. And that's a super rare time to experience, especially once you've grown up out of your actual child state. It's a rare kind of almost moment of bliss to not have to know anything. Like the first day of a new like class or school program, or the first time you step into a room with with new people and nobody knows you yet, so you don't have any preconceived biases or bad history yet. It's all this chance for a first impression. And so that is something that it kind of might be like an energy that you really, really run with, being kind of like ready with that kind of impulsiveness, good to start. And so this is a great time for experimentation, but you want to make sure that, or like the opportunity for the Fool is that you don't say to yourself, I already know that, because as soon as you say, I already know that, you kind of put a block to any more knowing, any more learning. You're like, yeah, I got it. It's a dead end. And so if you are able to say, oh, I don't know that, that is the opening of a door in order to get to learn more. So you have this potential for this openness to learn and experience things, but you want that to be this excited beginner's mind of, I don't know, tell me more, instead of like the negative Fool who's like just so detached and so not willing to take in any new things, that they're just so spaced out, that they're not really even taking in anything new. Like, you don't want to use this Fool state as an excuse to be willfully ignorant. You want it to be an invitation to be really comfortable and excited with not knowing yet, and then diving into a new kind of knowing without any preconceived biases. So it's not an invitation to just, waste your time and just, kind of be ridiculous. But it's just this invitation to get to learn from a blank slate, from a 0 point. So this is one thing I did want to bring up is all of these butterflies here. So in this tarot deck, and in general, butterflies are a symbol of transformation, which is fairly easy to understand. The caterpillar transforms into the butterfly, and so it's almost like this Fool is like in that caterpillar state, has like a caterpillar and a butterfly don't look at all alike. Not at all. If you looked at a caterpillar, didn't understand the life process, you'd be like, no, that's not going to turn. Not a chance would you tell me this thing is going to fly. Not at all. So the Fool is still in that caterpillar state. And if somebody, were to say, you might fly one day, it's like, no, not at all. Or like anybody could speak anything over a Fool that seems absurd, and it could still be true one day. So what you want is to hold on to the possibility that you could turn into anything and transform into anything, and not let the naysayers that don't understand the process of transformation, turning something that looks unlike the end product, that's a normal state of transformation. So if you're in this Fool state, beginner state, don't have mastery yet, don't know anything, it's a totally new environment you're jumping into, and if somebody says, you're never going to fly, you're never going to be able to do that, look at where you are now, you don't look anything like that end result, you can just be like, well, okay, you've never seen a butterfly before, clearly. Yeah, I'm busy as a caterpillar now, but I don't even know what I'm going to transform into. And that not knowing the end result is not the same thing as like, let me back up. Sometimes you can feel like if you don't know where you're going, how are you going to get there? Like, you have to know where the destination is, right, to get there, or you have to know the path that's going to go there, or you're never going to get there, right? There's this fixation on knowing ahead of time equals success, and this fear of starting out on anything if we don't know already how we're going to get there. Like, we just don't want to start unless we know for sure. That's this like desire for control, this wanting to not have any wasted energy, this fear of getting things wrong. But really the Fool is like, I don't know where I'm going, and this path, this journey is just going to unfold before me. I just need to know where my next step is. That's really all. And who knows what I'm going to become. If I have a preconceived idea of where I'm going, then I'm going to shut down any path or opportunity that doesn't look like it's going where I'm going. And if you want to get somewhere there's this idea of a straight line as being the closest or the fastest direct way to a certain path, and mathematically that's true, but there's barriers and obstacles in life. So realistically, the fastest and most effective way to get somewhere is often in a kind of meandering route, rather than hitting a barrier and determining that you still have to go straight, and so you bash your head into a wall for a long time and exhaust yourself because you have a preconceived idea that it has to be this way. And the other people that have a little bit more loosey-goosey, not commitment to a straight line, they're going to breeze ahead of you, even though they're going to take more steps to get there. So releasing this idea of having to know exactly the path before you can even start allows you to grow and learn from experiences and serendipity, and have things where maybe you have a goal to get to starting point A, And that helps you start to leave the door. But once you're in the experience of living, you realize, I don't want to go to A. I want to go to B or C or X. There's so many more paths that from the starting point I couldn't see and had no idea I even wanted to go there. And so the goal of step A, or of destination A, was not actually to get there. It was just to get you out the door. So there's all of these really amazing opportunities that can come from this Fool state, by just really being in the moment and experiencing that for what it's going to be. And then as you move on, eventually you can reach into this transformational stage, and then who knows what you're going to become. So that's kind of a general kind of pep talk for the Fool's journey. The specifics, again, I'm not sure what the specifics are for you. If this is starting a new career plan, starting a new education, new relationships, or whatever it might be, a medical procedure, a different sense of identity, new paradigms in life, changing your viewpoints on different things, whatever it might be, it's a new starting point, and it's going to look different for all of you. So tying this into the astrology of this month, so we're starting in Aquarius season at the beginning of February, and Aquarius has kind of different archetypes at play, and a lot of them, but I think the main one tying into this theme right now is the not wanting to be in a box. Aquarius is like, in the box thinking is not my thing. I'm going to go out of left field. I want to do something quite different. If it's conventional, I'm going to go way beyond convention. I'm going to make the box bigger, or I'm going to blow up the box and go whichever way I want. So that's very much this like I'm not going to be told how to live my life, or I'm not going to be told to do it and conform the way other people do it. I'm going to go do my own thing. And so Aquarius is often this feeling of the innovator or the pioneer. But in this case for you, with this Fool's journey, it may just be the fact that you don't want to be, that other people may be telling you that you have to do things a certain way, or that, like we were just talking about, you're supposed to know your goal. You're supposed to know the steps and plan it all out before you get there. And you're kind of like, I just kind of want to go on an adventure. I just want to see where this leads me. And I don't want to be boxed in by your expectations or your requirements of safety to make you feel in control. I'm giving up control. The Fool is not in control. And so this is a really good opportunity for you to get out of the box of needing to be in control, whether that's imposed on you by others or imposed on you by yourself, and break free of that in this beginning of the month in February. And then once we roll into Pisces season, towards the end of the month, Pisces is more about, it's massively expansive. It's all about kind of dissolving the boundaries between individuals so that we all realize that we are actually very connected together in the global and social ecosystem. But it's also about dreams and vision. It's about, it's not about being grounded in the practical reality of the facts of life. It's about dreaming the big vision that's still in the impossible stage, because all big accomplishments start with a dream or a vision, and then you connect to where you are now, and maybe you start to build and create in a practical way. But you're holding on to something bigger than life, and that's kind of like, this like ultimate goal that might not even be tangible. It's not even like a point A or point B. It's just this concept, and then you build smaller goals on the way to seeing if you can create this dream as a reality, or that dream is just like using a star to guide yourself to get somewhere. If you use a star as a waypoint to try to find a location, you're not actually trying to go to the star, but you're using that vision to guide you to a practical, tangible goal. And so you can use your dreams, whatever it is that you feel like accomplishing in a fantastical way, use that to fuel the Fool to go on his journey to then guide you to something that you can accomplish. Whatever that might be. So that's going to be this more Pisces season. So February is more like starting to embark and just starting to just identify the box that you're in, and that you're maybe like, no need for that now. I'd like to step out the door. Like stepping out of the box of your comfortable house, wherever it is, starting on this new Fool's journey. And then towards the end of the month, you get to look up to your vision, look up to the star now that you're outside of the box, and say, I'm going to follow that. I'm going to see where that takes me. I'm going to see if I can get that far, or I'm just going to see what I meet along the way and see who I can become while I'm chasing that vision. and not attached to catching it, but just letting it be a guiding light on this adventure. So that's probably all I'm going to say here. The only other thing is at this particular time, this is, yeah, this little bit of don't let others tell you that you're crazy. Don't let others drive you crazy, and put your faith in your own vision and originality. Certainly don't, like, you know, trample over other people in a rude way, but just understand that particularly in an Aquarian energy where everybody's really trying to manifest something unique, if people are like ripping into you or saying that you're crazy to be going on this journey, and kind of be like, yeah, I'm crazy. That's what the Fool's about. But I'm not gonna let your opinion of that stop me. And who knows, maybe you going on this journey will inspire other naysayers to be like, maybe I can do that too. Maybe I can go on my own journey as well. So yeah, stand strong, Aries. Finish out this, well, winter if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, or summer if you're in the South, with a bang, and go off on a lovely adventure. Best of luck to you, Aries.